This is Olona reporting from Good Morning Grahamstown.
This is Aneesha Ndebele reporting for Good Morning Grahamstown.
This is Kharuchas reporting for Good Morning Grahamstown.
Mola Makana.
Goeiemorgen Makana.
Good morning Grahamstown. I'm Canny Maphanga.
And I'm Dineo Mokwena. Today we look at some of the issues and events that are making headlines here in Grahamstown.
Tynwabi Hospital recently organized its first tuberculosis awareness day to combat the rise of the disease locally. Patients, hospital staff and pupils from Nathaniel Nyaluza Secondary School all participated in a march to alert the community to spread of the deadly disease. Ali Christos investigates.
Just last week, pupils of Nathaniel Nyaluza Secondary School joined TB Hospital in a march promoting the opening of windows to prevent tuberculosis. However, going into Nathaniel Nyaluza, their actions seem to be contradictory, as pupils are crammed into classrooms with windows wired and tied shut.
If you look at the area that I'm currently in, TB is airborne. But in any hygienic land area, for purposes of fresh air and everything, windows would be open.
With TB Hospital just a few meters away from Nathaniel Nyaluza, both appear to be struggling to acquire resources to maintain a healthy environment. Despite an active awareness of TB in the community, crime and poverty are restricting the school from protecting the well-being of their students.
We've had a problem with theft. It's either the learners or maybe people from the community. They stole everything that is of steel, pipes, whatever they can get as long as it is made of steel, and they sell them. So that's why the windows are closed. We used wires to close the windows. We are aware of the danger that we are all putting ourselves in. Then there is a TB center next to us. Last year, or maybe in 2012, we invited them to come to test every learner voluntarily. Then we found out that there were 4 learners that were affected. That was the last time that we tested learners in 2012.
With the windows constantly closed at Nathaniel Nyaluza, the risk of this airborne disease becomes significantly higher.
The department is saying it should be 1:35, one teacher to 35 learners, and at present we've got 58, 54 learners in one class, with those windows closed. Someone might not know that he or she has contracted TB, and cramped in that classroom, they might get TB there, So yeah, it does worry us. It does worry us a lot.
With this airborne disease being one of the leading causes of death in South Africa, proper precautions must be taken in high-risk areas such as schools and hospitals. However, with classrooms filled over capacity and windows constantly closed, TB has become a serious threat at Nathaniel Nyaluza. This is Ali Christos reporting from Fingo Village.
Thanks, Ali. TB continues to be the leading cause of death in South Africa and needs to be given more attention.
I agree. These children, their teachers and families are being put at risk in this case because of the lack of funding for better security.
In other news, some students and lecturers at Rhodes University have become the latest supporters of the international Bring Back Our Girls campaign. Olona has a story.
230 schoolgirls were kidnapped by Boko Haram terrorists on the 15th of April. These girls were taken from Chibok Government Secondary School in Nigeria. A discussion took place at Rhodes University as part of a global campaign to bring back these girls.
We are in France to sign an agreement on security cooperation. So I believe that by the time we bring all of this together, we will be able to tackle the issue of Boko Haram. And hopefully, Nigeria will know peace again. Thank you.
This discussion is not the only form of campaigning that took place in Grahamstown. A number of schools have held demonstrations and protests as an act of solidarity. Lindokuhle Zungu, the SRC activism councillor, speaks about the role that Rhodes University played in the campaign.
We looked into the fact that we at Rhodes, we have students from all over the world. We have students from Nigeria as well. And the fact that we as SRC have always taken part in the silent protest that Rhodes has. So we decided that this is a cause that we are willing to fight for. And hence we decided to blend the silent protest to bring back our girls' silent protest.
There is a global trend of posting selfies on social media with the hashtag #BringBackOurGirls. ABC News reported that the phrase has been used on Twitter more than 800,000 times. But how effective is this as a campaigning tool?
I'm not sure that putting photographs on Facebook for your little group of Facebook friends is really necessarily going to be very helpful in terms of either pressuring people to do something about the situation or that ever getting back to the people who've lost their daughters. But if it raises awareness and it perhaps gets people involved in some of the bigger issues, then it may have a longer term some kind of effect. But if that's all that's happening, then I think that just becomes very circular and doesn't actually achieve very much.
Personally, I believe that the mere fact that one is aware of something like this happening and posting an image of themselves with the logo "Bring Back Our Girls" on social networks, it does have a huge impact, because we have to take note that authorities such as our government, we've got government officials who are using the social networks and are very much aware in what happens when on the social networks, for instance, because you have seen in the past when a comment has been posted about a certain leader, but they find out about it because they are looking to social networks. So by us as young people posting these images, at some point it's gonna be seen by somebody who has power and who can actually say, you know what, this is happening, let me find out more and see where I can help to actually find the girls.
It is clear that there are different approaches to campaigning, but the effectiveness of these approaches can be questioned, because right now the girls remain missing. This is Olona reporting from Good Morning Grahamstown.
Thank you, Olona. On Monday, the Nigerian government located the abducted schoolgirls that are being held by Boko Haram. These girls are safe, but rescue missions are delayed because force cannot be used to free them. Many people have attacked the media, especially social media, for making the situation worse.
But if it had not been for social media, many of us would not be aware of the situation. Such attention has led to worldwide campaigns and military intervention. Rhodes participated in the campaign, but it all seems to be dying down.
Maybe students are turning their attention to the launch of new hotspots in town. Kharuchas shows us some of the transformations taking place on New Street.
In a small place like Grahamstown, it seems that every few years the entertainment landscape takes a new shape. There are currently 3 businesses on New Street undergoing changes. One of these is the Victoria Hotel. The Victoria Hotel has been a popular Grahamstown hotspot for several decades. Owner Anastasia Zachareles has been thinking about concentrating less on its steakhouse and hotel and focusing more on its musical roots.
It used to be a student pub known as the Vic. It was the only nightclub that students could go to in those years, so it was a huge Rhodes watering hole, where this year I've introduced live bands, jazz, acoustic, hip-hop, and so I'm trying to get it back to a music venue. Music has been neglected in Grahamstown over the last couple of years. The only people that come and play are DJs. What's happened to live music?
Just down the street, late-night party hub, the Monastery, reopened its doors on Saturday. Knee owner Clemens Harris plans to invest over 300,000 rand on the reinvention of the club.
When I walked in here for the last time, I saw myself not wanting to sit on a dirty floor. People should pay entry to be satisfied, and I really do think that renovations were needed to this club to show more respect to the environment here. I want people to feel as if they are safe and can feel free to speak their mind and be open-minded about things. So we really want to incorporate a more spacious, free-flowing club, a full functioning restaurant. There will be a new bar that will be at the end of the property with nice bonfires around, and I think that's what we're trying to create at the moment. Yeah.
Slipstream Sports Bar is undergoing major reconstruction. The contractor claims that the venue would not have passed public safety laws prior to the changes. An estimated 2 million rand has been invested in the expansion project, which will include a pub restaurant and upgraded slot machines.
this week as we work till 10, 11 every night to get this going. By the end of next week, we've got to be completed. We're fortunate to give work to many unemployed people during this period. Yeah, I don't like this kind of industry where people lose their money. It's not a healthy industry, but it's none of my decisions. I'm just a builder.
Pubs, clubs and bars have been feeling the pressure to keep people wanting more. And how do they do this? Reinvent, reconstruct, fit as many features into one small venue as possible. So it seems that change is the only constant in the entertainment industry in Grahamstown. This is Kharuchas reporting for Good Morning Grahamstown. Back to you in studio.
Thank you, Anna. It will be interesting to see whether all these businesses will be open for longer than just a semester.
Something else with a short shelf life is a new drama department production, Hunger. This physical theatre piece was choreographed by Rhodes alumni and former Standard Bank Young Artist Award winner, Acty Tang. I believe all 4 productions were sold out. Aneesha and Ndebele goes behind the scenes of Hunger.
Acty Tang, a former Rhodes student, went on to practice physical theatre in Hong Kong. His unique blend of South African and Japanese theatre is evident in his costumes, set designs and movements. Last week, Acty returned to Rhodes to showcase his piece, Hunger.
I created Hunger from an impulse that began with living away from South Africa, but seeing it on the news with the Marikana strike and the massacre, and then this whole scandal surrounding Nkandla. The starting point of the choreography always comes back to a kind of authentic feeling in the body, an authentic kind of state of the body. Comparing to works that I've done in South Africa in previous years, it's louder, it's more brash, it's in a way, it's just more out there. South African performing arts is characterized by raw passion and energy, and not afraid to deal with quite serious and quite unsettling issues, themes. In Hong Kong, the performing arts is more characterized by a more remote sense of refinement, or and definitely more emphasis on technical display. So in Hunger, I've tried to bring the two together and try to introduce the students in the Rhodes Drama Department to try to bring other perspectives into their learning experience as well.
Treat us like professionals, and in a way, we're forced to respond as professionals and kind of get a taste of what the real world is like.
We've been working every night, so you're constantly coming face to face with movements that you haven't done before, and that in itself is inspiring.
In South Africa, I find that to create performance pieces with socio-political themes it is the norm. And since the days of protest theatre, it is expected for theatre to at least have a function within society. In Hunger, I've tried to find that space where the subjective imagination and the objective cultural meanings come to interact.
Basically, the piece is about this society that's being built, and the foundation that the society has is not strong enough to uphold the social, the political facets of this country, and it all crumbles down because of the fact that there is this elitist group, and the not so elite, they have to suffer. And at the end of the day, in order for a revolution to start, a sacrifice has to be made.
Hunger addresses contemporary South African issues such as Nkandla and nation building. Hopefully, with more artistic performances like these, a political change can occur in this country. This is Aneesha Ndebele reporting for Good Morning Grahamstown.
I find it encouraging that South African artists still value social and political commentary and aren't afraid to challenge people. Audience members left the theatre with a lot to digest.
Until next week, that is all we have for you today.
Thank you for joining us, and goodbye. Okay.